if you really care, like if you want to live 20 years longer, or you value not being a fat piece of shit, well, prove it. Okay guys, in today's video, I'm going to be explaining exactly why some people have a very easy time losing weight while others seem to struggle, and it has nothing to do with hunger signaling, ghrelin, leptin, none of that stuff, and it has everything to do with your genetics for cardiovascular ability. What exactly do I mean? Well, we all have certain genetics that make some of us more fit, better able to do cardio than others. And so realistically, I think most people can do zone 2 cardio year round. Perhaps not every single day of the week, but most times. Zone 2, it's a comfortable pace, you're breathing a little bit harder, but it's not all that challenging. It's not HIIT cardio, it's not sprinting, it's none of that stuff. What people don't realize is that the average person, if they trained zone 2 cardio for a year, they would double their fitness. What do I mean by doubling their fitness? I mean they could double the amount of calories they could burn in an hour. If everyone were to start doing zone 2 cardio, the amount of calories you're burning today on that first session would be approximately half of what you would do in a year from now. Take myself as an example. This morning, I burnt 700 calories in an hour with a heart rate of about 130. Something very easy, not strenuous. I could do that all day long. Now, if you first got into fitness, cycling, running, whatever, the average person probably could only burn 300 calories in an hour. Can you imagine how much easier it is for me to lose weight? And so if we take two people on a weight loss journey, person A and person B, Person A has horrible genetics. They go for an hour, they walk, and they burn 300 calories. Perhaps they're 250 pounds, whatever. Person B, who's also lazy, couch potato, doesn't do anything, they burn 450. You're thinking, why? How is that possible? Does that person train harder? No. They both joined the gym together. They're best friends, both 250 pounds, both lazy. One burned 300 calories on day one, the other burned 450. Now they both continue to train. They stick to the program. Perhaps they're doing 5 hours of cardio a week, going for walks, biking, treadmill, whatever. By the end of the year, both people, they improve tremendously. Person A went from burning 300 calories in an hour to 600 calories in an hour. And so they can now eat 600 calories more each and every day. That is a significant difference, and it allows them to lose a significant amount of weight. But person B, on the other hand, they're now burning 900 calories in an hour. Both people have improved by the same margins, but person B can burn 900 calories per hour while his friend is only burning 600. Both great, but as you can see, 900 is a lot more calories than 600. And so despite the fact that they're both trying, they're both putting in the work, they're both giving it the same relative intensity, person B is losing significantly more weight than person A. Now, there are some people with elite level genetics. They perhaps are 350 pounds of fat. They're morbidly obese, but they don't know how good their bodies actually can perform. Sure, they're overweight, but they're overweight because they just sit down and do nothing. But now that they're doing cardio, now that they're training, they perhaps have a larger heart, they can use more oxygen, they have more slow twitch muscle fibers, and they're probably not going to be the world's strongest man, they're probably not going to be a champion bodybuilder, but they're very good at cardio. This person, they can burn 1,200 calories in an hour. And at the end of the hour, they say, I think I'm just going to do another 3 hours. This was boring. And so they ride for 4 hours and they burn 5,000 calories. Person A, after an hour, they're tired. They don't want to keep doing cardio. They're struggling. They have no energy. And it's simply due to their genetics. Some people's genetics for weight loss are way better than others. And so if you have an amazing cardiovascular system, you very easily can lose weight. You go to the gym, you do zone 2, and you burn 1,000 calories per hour or more. Do you know how easy it is to lose weight when you burn 1,000 calories an hour? Had a guy on my bike team, sent me his heart rate, calories, everything, and with an average heart rate of 128, he burned 1,008 calories. I had a heart rate 132, and I burned 700 calories. And so at the same relative intensity, both of us doing zone 2. Both of those workouts were easy. He's burning over 300 calories more than myself. He went on a weight loss journey. He lost over 50 pounds. And how did he do that? By riding bikes. Another guy on my bike team, Charlie, he was over 300 pounds. He started doing cardio and he can burn over 1,000 calories per hour and do it for 4 hours straight. No problem. How hard do you think it is to lose weight when you can burn 1,000 calories per hour and do it repeatedly? The only difference between you and these individuals is they're actually doing the cardio. You don't know how good your cardiovascular system is because you haven't tested it. And just like people have different genetics for putting on muscle, for example, we've seen Hussein Farhat, he goes to the gym, 3 years later, he's up 45 pounds of muscle. Some people have amazing genetics for being good at cardio. Charlie, he doesn't have a lot of muscle. Many cardiovascular endurance athletes, we've seen them in the Tour de France, they run marathons. We've seen guys doing Ironmans. These people don't have a lot of muscle, but what they do have is the ability to do cardio for days. Guys like David Goggins, they can run for 2 days straight. If you have genetics like that, it's going to be very easy for you to lose weight. And so understand that not everyone has the same genetics or ability to lose weight. But what we all have, every single one of us, is the ability to improve. And so if you don't try, you will never know what your genetics truly look like. Just because you're 300 pounds doesn't mean you don't have elite level genetics. You might have the best genetics in the world. You might be the next Tour de France elite athlete, but you're just sitting on the couch and you're not even trying. You're not experimenting, and so you don't know. And so if you're trying to lose weight, this is what you need to start doing. You need to start doing zone 2 cardio. Now, depending on your genetics, you might double your fitness in a year, you might even triple it, but you will not discover this unless you do it. It's recommended that people do a minimum of 150 minutes of zone 2 cardio a week. That is not a lot. If you really care, like if you want to live 20 years longer, or you value not being a fat piece of shit, like you're sick of it. I don't like people looking at me and judging me. I don't like not fitting in airplanes. I don't like being winded, being out of shape, being misjudged by society that I'm fat and lazy. Well, prove it. Do 1 hour of cardio a day. And I challenge you to see what you look like in a year. Do you really think that if you go from doing nothing to an hour of cardio each and every day for a year, that you're going to still look like a fat piece of shit? It's not possible. You could try. I challenge you. Try to do it. Prove it. Do an hour of cardio every day. Take a before and after in a year from now, and let's see what you look like. And even if you don't lose weight, your inside's going to change. You get your blood work done, your blood pressure, your resting heart rate, your blood glucose levels, HDL, LDL, the triglycerides, liver enzymes, everything's going to improve even if you're still fat. But at least you could say, I'm not a fat and lazy piece of shit, I'm just fat. At least you'd be just fat. If you burn only 500 calories per day, that's a pound a week. That's 52 pounds in a year. How many of you would like to lose 52 pounds in a year? You're thinking, oh, that's too slow. You're too slow in the head. Like, see, one problem I have is that the average IQ is 100, but like one standard deviation below the mean is already an IQ of 85. And so imagine the millions of people who watch my videos who have IQs below 79. 79? There's a 1 in 10 chance that you're actually a complete and utter invalid, moron, stupid. Like, you don't understand anything. Like, you barely understand the English that I'm speaking. There's so many people that are so stupid. Like, I only came to realize this lately, that how many people are so stupid that they don't understand anything. And so when I read comments or people are hating on me, I'm like, they don't even understand what I'm saying in the video. Like, there's words being spoken and they don't comprehend what the words actually mean. It's sad, but it's true. And to the opposite extent, there's just as many geniuses out there that hear what I'm saying and understand it. And so if you don't understand what I'm saying, it's not really your fault, it's genetics. Just like if you're a fat piece of shit, it might not be your fault, it might be your genetics. But if you choose to continue to sit there and do nothing, then it's your fault. If you want things to make it easier, you could, for example, take GLP from Coach Greg. We have these GLP pills. I don't have the pill with me because I don't need to take it because like I do cardio. And if you take it, it makes you about 28% less hungry. You go from an 8 out of 10 to a 6 out of 10. That's going to help you. You can take GO2 Max. It improves your cardio. And so even when you go and do cardio, you have more energy after. So for example, I lifted weights for an hour and then I bike ride for an hour and I have bronchitis. And then now I can go about my day. I can continue on. But perhaps without the GO2, I'd be more tired. I'd be like, yeah, I had a good workout, but like now I'm tired. Instead of that, I'm not tired. And so I can continue to burn calories, so it makes my NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis, it's higher. That's a lot of problems that people have. They burn calories during their exercise and then they just lay down, they veg out. Imagine burning calories during your hour and not slowing down later in the day. And so that's how GO2 can help you. Now, if you need things like peptides and clomiphene, testosterone, prescriptions, weight loss medications, and so on, AlgaRx can prescribe them to you legally. It's pharmaceutical. Doctors prescribe it. It's about half the price of Merit Health. You don't believe me? Please go check Merit Health out. I'll promote Merit Health. Go check out Merit Health. And if you want to spend a lot of money, buy it from them. And then if you want it half price, go to AlgaRx, because, you know, not everyone needs a deal. I don't need a deal. I got lots of money, millions of dollars. You probably don't, you know. Some people are rich, some people are not. Hey, it's just being honest. So if you're Mr. Beast, go to Merrick Health. And if you're not, go to AlgaRx and use code Greg to save 10% more. Remember, these are all legal prescriptions from doctors. And so it's not going to be trend. It's not some stupid SARM. It's legal stuff that you can use. Also, the Turk. I mean, if you're not one of the tens of thousands of people who are keeping on rebuying it, then perhaps buy it for the first time and then you'll be a believer. It's way better than creatine.
My skin was already a little bit tighter, and it felt like I took like a week's worth of creatine already from the one pill.
You can believe me, you don't need to believe me, don't buy it, or wait a few months before you're seeing it in thousands of stores, because everyone knows that mine is legit. They know this now. People like to hate. They don't like it that I'm making tens of millions of dollars. They don't like that. They don't want Coach Greg to be a multimillionaire. And so, oh, it doesn't work. It's a placebo. Whatever. Interested in HGLT supplements, code Greg, 15% off. And so what can we learn from this video? We can learn that if you're a fat piece of shit, you don't need to be. Because if you start doing cardio, you're going to become a better butter burner. You burn more calories in the same amount of time. Stop thinking about that, oh, you just get more efficient. You don't do cardio and get more efficient, you get better at it. You burn double the calories. If you burn double the calories, you can eat more food or you can lose more fat. It's literally easy. The hack is moving. The problem is you don't want to move. And the other problem is we got a bunch of stupid YouTubers that will say that cardio isn't the number one way to lose weight, that it's diet. It's not diet. Diet's easier, like it's easier to not eat, but the problem is when you don't eat, you get more hungry. You get that? Ghrelin goes up and you want to eat your face off. And so if you don't eat food, yeah, you're going to lose weight. But if you burn off more calories, you get to eat more food. And so even by eating the same amount of food, you burn the calories. It's not a overnight fix. Like it takes a year. Like if you lose a pound a week, it takes a full year. But you've been a fat piece of shit for 20 years by now. And so what's another year? You got one more year before you're healthy. Now, it's going to undo all this damage from being fat. You're going to live longer. And so, you know, you're probably going to be dead by the time you're 60 or 70. Why not live to be 80 or 90? And so use the supplements, do the cardio, and as a bonus, you can lift weights twice a week, but really cardio is way better. You really think you can burn 1,000 calories per hour lifting weights doing zone 2? No one's doing that. No one's burning 1,000 calories per hour lifting weights. Cardio is the secret to weight loss. And if you get good at cardio, you're improving on that secret. And so do your cardio, lose the weight, ending it here. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algorithm, get my freaking cookbooks. That makes it even easier. You're doing the cardio, you're using the cookbooks, you're using my supplements. It's literally a no-fail situation. Like all you have to do is do the cardio. And so I think the biggest deterrent is that you don't like cardio, but what you can do is just watch my videos while you do cardio. And so this is a one-stop shop. Everything you need is here. The supplements, you can go to AlgaRx, you can go to HGLT supplements. We've got the cookbook to make the lower calorie recipes. The supplements to give you the energy, like the Blue Lobster and all this stuff. Everything is right here. And I even yell at you and I make fun of you and I put you down. I bully you until you get in your ass in shape. And then you're going to have a better looking physique. You're going to be hotter. You're going to have like more muscles. And girls are going to look at you for the first time ever. Because remember, girls only look at you if you're at least a 5. Girls don't even see if you're a 3 on a 10. They look out and they say, there's no men here. They don't see you. It's like you're literally invisible to them. The eyes, babe, you're an eye surgeon. What's the phenomena where women don't see men unless they're at least a 5? Is it the corneas? the retina,
Yeah, the image bounces off the cornea if you're below a 5. That's like, it's just,
so it's a corneal refractory problem. It's as simple as that, guys. This is what it's about. I mean, really, we were put on this earth to procreate. I feel like that's the number one thing we were to do, because if it wasn't for that, we wouldn't exist as a species. And so biologically, we are made to look hot, to procreate. And so I do believe that we've evolved to watch Coach Greg, because Coach Greg's videos help you to get laid and procreate. And on that note, until next time, I'm out.